welcome to another episode of Ask Miss Lee RD, your number one source for nutrition information and advice. As we begin every episode, I'm going to answer one of the many letters I receive daily. Dear Miss Lee,
I'm very concerned about my daughter's nutrition. She's 6 years old and a very picky eater. Her favorite foods include Pop-Tarts, pizza, macaroni and cheese, cookies, and candy. She also drinks many soft drinks and juices instead of water. She doesn't eat any meat or vegetables. She's willing to eat fruit, but only when other sweets aren't available. Whenever I try to give her vegetables, fruit, whole grains, or lean meats, she throws temper tantrums and refuses to eat at all. I have no other option than to give her what she will eat. I'd rather her eat something than nothing at all. I'm at a loss. I'm not sure how I can incorporate healthy foods in her diet without having to force her or having to argue with her. Can you help me? Thank you, Mary L.
Oh wow, that's a problem. But don't worry, Mary, you're not alone. Many mothers everywhere suffer from the same problem. Here are some tips to expose your daughter to new and healthier foods. Offer a new food only when your child is hungry and rested. Present only one new food at a time. Serve new foods with her favorite foods to increase acceptance. Eat the new food yourself. Children love to imitate their parents. Have your child help to prepare the foods. Often they will be more willing to try it when they help prepare it. Limit beverages. Picky eaters tend to fill up on liquids. Limit to 2 snacks per day. Let's hear another letter from one of our viewers struggling with a picky eater.
Dear Mr. Lee, my son Henry is 2 years old, and I want him to be able to enjoy a wide range of foods. He isn't showing signs of pickiness now, so what are some tips I can use to prevent my son from becoming a picky eater? Daniel S.
First things first, make sure you are eating a wide range of wholesome foods. If you're a picky eater, chances are that Henry will mimic your behavior and become a picky eater as well. Choose foods for yourself that are in line with the foods that you want Henry to try and enjoy. Try not to show disgust or disapproval when giving him new foods, because chances are he'll be less likely to approve of these new foods. Also, get Henry in the kitchen to help you prepare these new foods. If Henry's helping prepare the meals, he'll most likely want to taste whatever you're creating together. Let him stick to small tasks like stirring, measuring, pouring, etc. I think we have time for a few more letters. Let's see whom we have next.
Dear Miss Lee, my grandmother and mother swear that the only reason I eat fruit and vegetables to this day is because they forced me to try them when I was younger. My 5-year-old daughter is quite the picky eater, but should I be forcing her to try new foods like my grandmother and mother said they did with me? Thanks, Betty C.
Wow, Betty, what a fabulous question. I get this question all the time from confused and frustrated parents who are having to deal with a picky eater. I'm super glad you sent this in. I am a firm believer in not forcing children to eat foods that they do not want to. I believe that forcing a child to eat foods they don't want to will force them to rely on others to tell them how much and when to eat. There is even some research that links forcing a child to eat and having picky eating behaviors worsen. Your job as a parent is to introduce new foods to your child and not to get offended when they don't want to eat it. Your child's job is to decide what new foods to eat and how much of these foods to eat. This way, your child learns to listen to his body and to eliminate difficult power struggles between parent and child. Thanks, Betty. Again, what a great question. Okay, guys, I think we have enough time for one more letter. Can't wait to see what's next.
Dear Miss Dilly, my son James is a very picky eater. My friend Miranda told me to bargain with him in order to get him to eat his veggies and finish his plate. What is your take on making deals with children in order to get them to finish their plates and eat their vegetables? Thanks, Hillary G.
This is also a very important and relevant question, Hillary. I have found that making deals with children and strategies like that do not work or pay off in the long run. It is simply a short-term fix for a much larger problem. If you begin making deals with your child, they will learn to try and make deals in other situations, like when they're getting dressed, brushing their teeth, or even bathing. Some parents like to use the old dessert trick. They'll say, if you have 3 more bites of this, then you can have your dessert. But I'm here to tell you that this is a tricky situation. These children will only want to eat enough food in order to get their dessert. Give your child something small and sweet, maybe a small piece of fruit, with their meal, and let them make the decision when they will eat the sweet component of their meal. Avoiding the "you will get this if you eat that" scenario at the beginning of meals will help your child make his or her own decisions about their meals. Looks like we have just enough time for our activity of the day. Today's activity calls for kids in the kitchen. Kids in the kitchen is a great way for picky eaters to get in the kitchen, especially to enjoy time with their parents and to cook meals. Chances are they will want to keep trying things that they help prepare in the kitchen. It's also a great way to help them develop fine motor skills at this age. Today we will be using a very useful chart from ChooseMyPlate.com. Here are some kitchen activities to try with 2-year-olds. Wiping tables, placing things in the trash can, making faces out of fruit or vegetables, rinsing fruit or vegetables. Here's some activities to do with 3-year-olds. They can do all that a 2-year-old can, plus adding ingredients, squeezing citrus fruits, stirring. At 4 years old, they can do all that a 2-year-old and 3-year-old can do, plus set the table, crack eggs, and toss salads. Now when your child is 5 years old, they can do all that a 4-year-old can do, plus measure liquids. They can begin to cut soft fruits with a dull knife, and make sure that knife is dull. Remember, children may develop each of these skills at different ages, so it's best just to get your child in the kitchen to see how they can help out. But make sure to use only age-appropriate cooking tasks. Well, that is all we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great week and happy, healthy eating.